Hi there, welcome to my review of this Candy FCXP615X built-in single electric oven. First thing to notice, other than its massive viewing window, is the fact that it comes with a stainless steel trim. So you get stainless steel handle, stainless steel LED and dial area, and then a very small tiny stainless steel trim at the bottom just to finish it off. This oven comes with a 78 litre capacity, so it's great for large families. In terms of its insides, this oven comes with an enamel coated interior, which means that for splats, spills, stains, you're safe in the knowledge that it's not going to stick to the sides and bake on. The enamel means that it's going to be easily wipeable once you finish cooking, and you're not going to have any unwanted smells until you clean your oven. So on the top of the oven, you notice on the left hand side there's the temperature dial, and on the right hand side there's the function dial. There's also a built-in LED display which has also got some touch buttons. In terms of the touch buttons, they access things such as your timer, setting your digital clock, as well as an added function of being able to stop the oven at a certain time, as well as start it at a certain time in fact. But I'll show you those in a bit more detail in a few moments. It is hardwired, so it is important to notice that you are either going to need an electrician or someone of electrical mind to fix the oven in. Let's take a closer look at the dials. So if we take a closer look now at the dial function, you'll notice that it's got two dials. One is the temperature dial and the other one is the function dial. Simply clicking into place, you'll see that it's easy to just click in to the different ones and you can hear the function there. So what you've got a lighting function. You've got your defrost function there, so that makes it a constant temperature of 40 degrees C, ideal for defrosting food but equally not altering anything to do with the protein levels. You've also got your fan assisted oven with heating elements on the top and bottom, fan with just the grill. You've also got a fan with heat element on the bottom, perfect for your pastries. You've also just got the heating only elements. You've also got the grill only elements, and you've got a pizza baking option as well. In terms of the digital display, you can see there that it's quite a glass-like display. The problem you do have is for fingertips. As you can see there, fingerprints do go on it quite easily. However, if you look at the display itself, very simple to use. It is touchscreen. You have three buttons on the bottom. You've got your select button, which rotates through the different functions, and you've got your plus and your minus. If I just point to some of them here, you've got your traditional timer function there, which will set an audible alarm and count down the timer, meaning you can see exactly how long's left, and the audible alarm will go off when that's run out. You've also got your clock setting function. So obviously at the moment I've got my clock set. If you want to set the clock, you just rotate around to this one and choose your plus and minuses accordingly to rotate through the clock. The next function is a timer function. So what that will do, you set your time, let's say for 1 hour, and the oven will start cooking for 1 hour, but the actual oven will turn off after an hour. Ideal for things where you know you don't want to overcook it, or equally you are running to some kind of deadline and you want to cook to that. Now the final cook option is an end function, which when used together with the timer function works really well. What you do is you set your end function, first of all you set your timer function. So you want to cook it for an hour, but say you want to cook it for an hour and you want it to end at midday. You then set your end function to 12 o'clock, and the oven would, using the built-in clock, would work out when it needs to start the cooking process, i.e. 11 o'clock, would automatically turn on at 11 o'clock and then would automatically turn off at 12 o'clock. So ideal, let's say if you've got stews and you want it to say cook at maybe kick in at 2 in the afternoon, it's going to take you 4 hours, ready for tea time at night. You'd simply set it for 4 hours in terms of the cooking time, and then you'd then set it to end at 6 o'clock. So the oven then would automatically kick in at 2 and end at 6. Just to give you an idea of how well responsive the touch buttons are, if I press it now, it's working its way through them. So again, simply plus, minus, and it's very responsive, so there's none of this pressing on it or anything like that. It literally is just a tap of the finger and it knows you're pressing it there. As you can hear, that's the built-in countdown timer that's just gone off, just to give you an idea of the audible alarm that goes off. And if I just go and show you another function that I really am a fan of, if you press the plus button for 5 seconds when on the timer, you notice that the sign now says stop. What that means is a child lock is on there, so no one can tamper with the oven. That means both on the temperature settings and also on any of the cook functions, the oven remains in its current state. Absolutely amazing facility, particularly if you've got little ones, and like me, the oven is at a low level. It means that no prying hands can come along and automatically turn on a grill because you've got a brand new oven. And it also comes up with a stop warning just to remind yourself that it is currently on child lock option. So to turn that child lock option off, you simply keep your hand again on the plus button for 5 seconds. And now, because I've left the buttons on, the oven has now kicked in. Absolutely amazing. So now if I take you a closer look inside the oven, you notice automatically straight away I have the internal light on, which is situated in the top roof of the oven. Now when I do open the oven itself, you will be able to appreciate the large 72 litre capacity in there. What you do get with this oven is you get a drip tray, you get 2 racks, and then you also get a grilling tray. Now what I would say is at the moment you notice that the grilling trays are separated, the racks are situated quite close to one another. Not really much of a gap in there to get any roasting trays in there. You maybe get your roast potatoes in there, but it is quite a thin gap. Now in order to make that gap bigger, there is the ability to put the racks slightly higher. However, because the grilling tray is situated in there, the racks actually won't go in on that at the moment. So what you'd have to do to be able to utilise that is take the grilling tray out. A little bit of a bugbear, but again it is possible. So inside you'll notice the grill element at the top, as well as I've just mentioned the light is at the top in the back. And then if I just pan a little bit down, you'll notice the large fan operating there. Now the fan is actually on at the moment in terms of the cooling fan itself, and it's pretty quiet if I'm honest, so it's not going to disturb you at all. A slight hum there, but nothing to sort of be worried about at all. If I just pan back out, you notice the very large grill pan, and again if you look at the large viewing window, again when I shut this oven, you notice unlike many other ovens, it's not a typical slam shut itself, it actually stops there. It means that no fingers can get trapped in there. You're going to have to actually physically close it yourself by pushing it closed. Great if you've got little ones. I guess sometimes it just means that you're going to have to make sure you do physically shut the oven once you've finished being in there to make sure that you are maximising the temperatures inside that oven. Overall thoughts on the oven. One thing I really like is I like the look of it. It's very simple but very stylish. I think the large viewing area gives you that feeling of being able to appreciate the actual 78 litre capacity that's inside there as well. One thing I'm probably disappointed with is, although you do get a drip tray, you also get a grill tray, as I've showed you earlier, and the 2 actual racks. In order to utilise those 2 racks, you're going to need to take either the drip tray out or the grill tray. It's where to put it when you're cooking something else. They're not small trays. I think I'd want to be able to utilise those 2 trays without taking out one of the grilling trays or the drip tray. Probably another negative for me is the fact that it is so nice and sleek and modern means that it's quite prone to fingerprints. I really like the function of the child lock. I've not seen many ovens before with a child lock, particularly useful if, like me, you've got it at a low level. Having that child lock just gives you peace of mind when you're not in the kitchen, and means that you're not having to worry about little ones maybe just messing with the dials at any point in time. Another function I really like about this oven is the ability to end the cooking process at a certain time. I really like how simple the oven is to use. If you don't want to use the timers, it's not an issue. You can just use the 2 dials, very much. One's a temperature dial and one's the function dial. So whether you want a fan assisted oven, whether you want heated elements on the top and the bottom, heated elements on just the bottom for things like pastries, flans, You've got all those different options, but it's very clear on which one's what. So overall, really do like the Candy FCXP615X built-in single electric oven. Looks great, it's easy to use, it's got a couple of added extras such as your child lock, your pizza cooking function and your programmable timers, but it's not overly complicated and it does exactly what it says on the tin. So that's my review of this Candy FCXP615X built-in single electric oven. I'm off to start prepping for Christmas dinner. Hope you enjoyed watching it and tune in next time. Bye bye.